Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanas. This is episode 254, season 11. Today's date is September 12th, 2023, and welcome to the program. On today's program, I'm going to talk about my memories of bubblegum brands in the 1970s. Some are still around, some have disappeared. And their flavors, of course. And like I said before, I'll talk about my memories of chewing those. Also, I will talk about the High-Low Flyer. That is a red wagon that were sold at High-Low food stores in the Chicagoland area. They were a chain of grocery stores back in the day. I'll explain that. But first, the program will go into a commercial break. This program is brought to you by Calgon Bath Powder. And has that famous slogan, Calgon, take me away. So here's a commercial from 1978. I think a lot of people remember this commercial. Around my age, young people? No, I don't think so. So sit back and relax, and I'll be back with the show. Thank you, everyone.
The traffic.
I can't read
the
that.
Boss. The baby. The dog. That does it. Calgon, take me away.
Lose your cares in the luxury of a Calgon bath. Calgon softens the water to leave skin feeling silky smooth as it lifts your spirits. The soft, luxurious, fragrant world of Calgon.
I love it.
Pamper yourself with a Calgon bath. Lose yourself in luxury.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Calgon bath powder. I remember this commercial where everybody gets stressed out every day. It's still true to this day. To me, to everyone else. And I love what this woman said. The traffic, the boss, the baby, the dog. Ooh, Calgon, take me away. So to relieve her stress, she takes a bath. Okay, that's fine. This product is still around. You also remember the Calgon laundry detergent? You remember Ancient Chinese Secret? Remember that? That was a great commercial. And like I said, this product is still around. And there was also one for dishwashing. It was a dishwashing detergent called Calgonite. I remember with a little genie or like a green thing. Those commercials are on YouTube. If you care to watch, that's up to you. Yeah, but it's fun to go back and watch those. I used to watch those on TV when I was little. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about my memories of bubblegum brands in the 1970s. Also, I'll talk about the High-Low Flyer. That was a red wagon that was sold at High-Low food store in the Chicagoland area. Before I get started, I'll talk about a couple of things. One, yesterday was the 22nd anniversary of 9/11, when we had that terrible day. I'll tell you where I was when it happened. I was at home. I was on my way to work, and my mom had the television set in the basement. It's a laundry room. And I'm looking at that, what is going on? And I see one tower on fire. I didn't see the plank go in, but I had to leave. I had to go to work. And my mom was talking to me. She was upset about something. I don't know. I don't remember. So said goodbye, and then I got in the car. I turned on the radio and I hear more about it. And I go, "Oh my God, what's happening?" Then a plane hit another tower, and then it hit the Pentagon, and then it crashed through in Pennsylvania. So I worked in the travel business. I worked in American Express Travel. I came to the office, and it was very strange. Everyone's scrambling around, and I was a ticketer, and they told me what's going. I've got the full story from everyone, and then we had a lunchroom, and they watched the TV in there, and I watched it too a little bit. I didn't do much work that day, not really. Whatever I was needed, I did that because all the planes were scrambling around, and we had to find out if any of our clients were alive or died. We found out maybe one was in my account. Maybe I know two from Sears passed away. They perished in there, and we also had a rep. She was a lovely lady. She worked for Qantas. She was a representative for Qantas. I remember she used to come to the office. She was very sweet and all that. She was on the flight, the American Airlines flight that had the plane. I go, oh my God, that poor girl. That poor girl. Like that. And then, it was a very strange day and very sad. And then the next day, it didn't get worse. It's just we're trying to get everything together, which we're grieving and praying and all that. But then the end of the week, it felt like a long day. It felt like a long week. It was just awful. It took time to recuperate and all that. And it's, but that's where I was when it happened. And it changed the industry, the airline industry, very much, security and all that. So, you have to be very, very careful. It's still true to this day. We're still scared. I'm still nervous sometimes when I get on a plane. I haven't flown in a long time. So, but you're safe. I think you're safe now. You're okay. But that was something else. Okay. And my prayers to the families. We did. Okay. And another thing I want to mention was yesterday was the 62nd anniversary of the debut of Bozo's Circus on WGN TV Channel 9 in Chicago. And I posted a photo of Bozo and Cookie the Clown to commemorate that day. 2 years ago, I did the 60th anniversary. I put together a video. I did a 4-part episode on my podcast, Vanish Chicagoland Stories. Also wrote a story on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. And you could still read it. The story, you could go on YouTube and you can listen to the podcast, and watch the video if you like. It's under, the video is under my name, Pete Costanes. The podcasts are under Vanish Chicagoland Stories. You could look them up if you like, to take back. I talked about my memories of the show. I talked about the history. So that was fun. I wish I went on the show. I never did. My mom didn't understand. That is my parents. They didn't understand the show. They thought it was silly, but I started watching the show when I was very little, maybe 3 or 4, and I got mesmerized. I really did. And it's still a fun show to watch. Bob Bell, who played Bozo, the best. He was the best. I loved him. Oh, wonderful man. Nice, great fun to watch. It really was. Great Chicago memory. Okay. So let's get started with the show. I'm going to talk about first I'll talk about my memories of bubblegum brands. My earliest memory of bubblegum, believe it or not, is I used to get those wacky packages. They're from Tops, and you get, remember the wacky packages, and you get a stick of gum, and you chew that. Those were hard. very hard to chew. Also, a lot of kids my age collected baseball cards. The gum was included. It was inserted in there. That was hard too. Yeah, that's I don't know why they made it like that. I don't know if it's still made like that. I'm not sure. I'm not a baseball card collector. My brother is. So, and then then some brands I'm trying to remember at first. Remember Bazooka. Bazooka gum, it's still around. When you open it, you had a little comic strip to read. Those were fun to read. I love those. They're not as very chewy, very hard. I'm sure they're softer now, but they were like little squares, like that. And that's been in business forever, a long time. The character's name was Bazooka Joe, and like that. And I don't know if Joe Palooka was in there. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I haven't read one in a long time. I haven't bought Bazooka in a long time. Let's see what else. There was Double Bubble. Very small pieces of gum like that. That's still made. I ate that. Um, let's see what else. Okay, as I got older and I went to high school, around that time, when I started at Bogan High School, bubble gum was introduced. And they had the original flavor, and these were very soft. And I think they came in maybe 5 pieces in a pack. And I used to buy those either at Edwards Drugstore on West 79th Street in Hamlin on the corner. Also at Crestline Pharmacy that was on 79th and Pulaski. It was right near Bogan High School. I think it was next door to Barnaby's Pizza. And also at White Hen. That was at 1 block west where Bogan High School is. At 79th and Kaminsky. And a lot of kids went there, and I bought bubble gum there, and candy, and soda pop, and all that. And bubble gum, yeah, I chewed it all the time. There was a crazy rumor that it was made of spider eggs. I didn't know about that. When I was a kid back then, I didn't hear about this. And that was a crazy rumor that spread. I don't believe it's true. And they pulled out, somebody said on Facebook yesterday, the Bubblegum they put out a full page ad to explain, no, it's not made of spider eggs. There is no spider eggs. Excuse me. So I don't know how that got started. Some big mouth kid did, I guess. So yeah, so bubble yum. Later on, they had flavors. Let's see. For example, they had grape, tropical punch, spearmint. Let's see what else. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, a lot of people like the grape one. They really did. They loved the grape one. And let's see what else. Wild cherry. They had that. That was good. I like that one a lot too. But a lot of people like the spearmint. No, I like the spearmint one. I really did. But people like the grape. That was very good. I don't know if they made watermelon. I'm not a big fan of watermelon gum. Tastes funny to me. Anything candy with watermelon tastes weird. It really does. I had a friend of mine at high school. And I always had pieces. He always had a bubble gum, and I used to buy that. And I said, "You want a piece of gum?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I gave him one. We always exchanged that. So that was a great memory of that. Unfortunately, he died about 9 years ago, which is sad. And that was a great memory for me. I didn't see him much after school, when we graduated, but that memory stuck to my mind. But he was a nice guy. And but I saw other kids at school, they trade gums. Sometimes they blew bubbles in class, which you're not supposed to. And you pop. Um, let's see, and then sometimes they stick them under the desks, on the chairs, on your shoes. One time I got gum in my hair. Someone threw it at me. Oh, that was embarrassing. Oh, who would do a thing like that? That's terrible. That was mean. Okay, and the other, that's about it for Bubble Yum. The other brand of bubble gum I remember is Bubblicious. Bubblicious was very good. I remember they had the regular flavor, orange. They did have grape. They had, let's see what else. Can't think of the top of my head. You know what they had? They had chocolate mint. That came out later, and that I've tried it. It's kind of weird. But Bubblicious was good. It was very good. Flavor wise, Bubble Yum lasted not too long. Bubblicious, I think it lasted a little longer, in my opinion. It really did. And both brands are still around. They are still around. You can buy those at any store, or buy them in Amazon if you like. Buy them in a pack. Let's see what else. Another one. A lot of people mention. They mentioned this on Facebook. Is Bub's Daddy bubblegum. I've had this. I've had this gum. Most favorite flavor is watermelon, which I don't care for. I mentioned that before, but they do remember Bub's Daddy. They like that gum. It was good. Yeah. So if it wasn't watermelon, I'd buy some other flavor. That's how it is. Another one was Hubba Bubba. You remember that? That was from Wrigley's, I believe, and came out regular flavors: grape, orange, wild, strawberry, raspberry. You name it, they did that. And let's see what else. Another gum that was introduced while I was in high school was Freshen Up. Now, the first one was spearmint, but they did come out in bubblegum flavor. It's like it's squirted. So when you chew, when you chew in your mouth, it squirts, and then your tongue is green like that. But I had the bubblegum one. It was pretty good. I like it. They don't make it anymore. No, it's gone. Let's see what. Then right around the 90s, they had Chewels, like that, or late 80s, 90s. They had that. So that was the same. They don't make that anymore. No, that's gone. Do you remember the bubblegum tape? They did. Yeah, I bought that a couple times. It was fun like that. And also Fruit Stripe gum. Also, they came out in bubblegum. Remember that? Also, Carefree bubblegum. They were sugarless. It was sugarless gum like that. Sugarless gum. That's great for your teeth. You don't want to get cavities, but sometimes didn't taste very good. No, like that. Also, there was rainbow gum. You get them out of the vending machine, like those round ones like that. Those, Also, someone mentioned, what about Charms Blow Pop? With the bubble gum inside. Yeah, those were good. I had that. I like the regular, or there was grape, or cherry. Cherry was my favorite. That was good. I don't chew bubble gum much. Now, I got to be careful. If I want something refreshing, like something minty, like spearmint or like that, or something sugar free. I like gum, but it's good for massaging. To get your jaws working like that. I'll tell you a quick funny story. When I went to DeVry Institute of Technology in the 80s, there was a teacher. He was from India, and sometimes I didn't understand him most of the time. Dummy Pete, was chewing gum in class. I shouldn't have done that. And I popped it. And he got mad. He goes, "Who's chewing that gum? Who's chewing that gum?" No chewing gum. Like, and I think his name was Mr. Chantel. I think that's and I apologize. I go, Mr. Chantel. I'm so sorry that did that. You know, I said that after class, but he reluctantly accepted. So, and I promise I will not chew gum in class again. And I said, all right. So he's forgiven me, sort of. Okay. Like that. So I can't think of anything other brands of gum. There are so many, you know, and I'm sorry I didn't mention them all. But that was great. I've had great memories of chewing bubblegum, you know, as a kid. So did a lot of kids. Yeah, that's part of life. It really was. Okay, right now I'm going to play a commercial for Bubble Yum. This is from 1980. I'll tell you who's in the commercial because you might not recognize them because there's a lot of kids in there, but one of them is a famous actor, is Ralph Macchio from The Karate Kid. He's in that movie. Not in movie, the commercial, excuse me. So he is in that movie. And no, I keep saying movie. He's in that commercial. So here's a commercial for Bubble Yum featuring Ralph Macchio from 1980. So just sit back and relax, and I'll be right back. Thank you, everyone.
What's better than Bubble Yum?
Now yummier Bubble Yum!
Bubble Yum is yummier now! Can't believe it? We'll show you how! We make it smoother, there's just no doubt.
Got a yummier flavor to shout about! Yummier? Is it true?
Well, fantastic taste!
And a smoother chew!
The yummier taste is super fun! The famous flavor lasts a long, long time! Now the Bubble Yum taste in bubble gum is the yummier taste of new Bubble Yum!
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Bubble Yum that featured Ralph Macchio. This commercial is from 1980. At the time, he was starring in the last season of Eight Is Enough, the TV show that starred Dick Van Patten, you know, with the kids. I love that show. You know, I have a few episodes on DVD. You know, I used to watch this all the time when it aired in the reruns on Channel 5. In Chicago. Then later on, he got cast as in The Karate Kid in 1984, I believe. You know, I saw the movie not in the theater, on TV when it was released. It's okay. I like the movie. You know, I'm not a huge fan, you know, of that. But Pat Morita, who was in the movie, he was excellent. Yeah, he was great in that movie. And of course, they made sequels, and then they made a new series for streaming. You know, so I think it's Netflix, I believe. Yeah, so I don't know. I never watched it. So, but it is a good movie. It really is. You know, it's one of the greatest '80s movies of all time. Ralph Macchio is still acting, as far as I know. Last time I saw him was on Ugly Betty. That was a long time ago. He was in it. I looked at him and go, he looks familiar. And it was Ralph Macchio. He looked older, you know. And I saw him on Dancing with the Stars, which was pretty good. You know, I recognize his voice. You know, that was him. Okay. Right now, I'm going to talk about the High-Low Flyer. That's a red wagon from High-Low Food Store in Chicago. I'll give you a brief history of the store. The store opened like in the late 1930s in Chicago, and then it just expanded all through the years, probably around in the 50s. They were reasonably priced. That's according to that. And they used to have the 10-cent cans up front and all that. And it was founded by, her name was Miss Ronnie. I don't know her first name. I forgot, you know, my mind escaped. And she was one of the first women that ran a company, you know, probably in Chicago, probably ever, you know. I read somewhere, and I've heard from people she ran a tight ship, you know, but she knew what she was doing. So that's good. And sometimes people were fearful for her, like managers, employees. She would enter a store, sometimes unannounced. She would do that. I also remember Ronnie's real rich ice cream, which is good ice cream. So it was Ronnie's Real Rich Ice Cream. It was pretty good. My memories of the store. I remember when I was little. I lived in South Shore neighborhood in Chicago. It was on 75th Street near Exchange, and there was a High-Low food store. My mom went shopping there all the time. Because my uncle had a grocery store in a corner. So, but the store was about a little further east, like that, and a lot of people went there. Well, that's how it is. There was a National Foods on Exchange Avenue across the tracks. I remember the store very well. Also, I saw the first time the High-Low Flyer, the red wagon, and I think one of my mom's friend's son had this. We visited her on Saginaw Avenue, and he had that wagon, and I was like, "Wow, that wagon looks cool," like that. And I don't know if you bought, you had to buy it or you have to buy something with it. I'm not sure, but they had them on sale like that, and so I know I never wanted one really. Not really. I didn't want to buy one. No, but it was red and it looked like the radio flyer. The the wagon itself. It's very similar to that. I don't know if it was made in the same company. I'm not sure. Not sure exactly. So that was that it was very popular with kids, and sometimes you could put just one kid there, or maybe two very little, children, and you just pull it like that, and or you can go out in the field and just roll it down like that. It's hilarious. So I have a Facebook page of High-Low Foods. I haven't posted much lately. I posted ads or any memorabilia. I love to see pictures of the stores. It's kind of cool. That'd be great. I wish there was a picture of the one in South Shore, but no success. But I did find a few. There was one in 95th Street and Western Avenue in the Beverly area. So that's great about that. And other locations. And I found one when we moved to Roseland in the 1970s. And there was one in East 111th Street, east of King Martin Luther King Drive Jr. It was South Park. Right east of Palmer Park. We used to play there all the time. And yeah, there was a store there, and they were all over mostly they were on the south side. I think the warehouse, their headquarters was by 87th and the Dan Ryan Expressway, like that. And then also somebody told me there was one on 71st Street and Paxton, another South Shore location, right with the tracks. And I get comments from people that used to work there part-time after high school, or they were managers there, like that. And then they expanded to the suburbs, in the city. When I moved to Ashburn neighborhood, I don't remember where it was there. I'm sorry. There was one on 82nd and Kedzie. It was like there. And then Bargain World opened. It was a grocery store. A classmate of mine, his father opened that store and took it over. I still have a picture of that, the one in 82nd and Kedzie. It's kind of cool. They started closing the stores in the 70s. And then I don't know why, maybe competition. I don't know if Miss Ronnie died around that time. I think she did. And I think one of her nephews took over and ran the business. And I heard they didn't do a good job, and then they just ran it to the ground like that. And it's a shame, And that was that. And but people still remember High-Low. They still remember High-Low Foods, and they remember the wagon, and that's a great memory of that. So like I said before, I didn't really want the wagon. No, but it was cool to watch, cool to see it like that. A lot of kids had that. One last thing, I found one on eBay for sale a few years ago, and I posted the photo, and it was unassembled and with the box. And I posted it there. And there was this guy I used to, he was a friend of my brother's. He grew up in our neighborhood. He wanted to buy it. And I told him, yeah, go buy it on eBay, because he used to work there. He used to work at High-Low. Or maybe his parents did. I'm not sure. But he wanted to buy it. And I said, yeah, go ahead. He bought it. He did. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago under weird circumstances. I'm not going to reveal that. No. But as far as I know, he still had it. So that's a shame. Okay. So that is all for today for this episode. I will do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about my memories of bubblegum brands in the 1970s, and also the High-Low Flyer Wagon from High-Low Foods, from the High-Low food stores in Chicago. Excuse me. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Overcast, Breaker, wherever you want to listen. Also, it'll be on my YouTube channel, Band Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. People always ask me, hit subscribe, and you'll get and you'll be notified for a new episode. Same with the apps. We'll do that. Also, this will be posted on my blog, chicagoland.blog. Also on my social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter. X is called now. And also, if you want to copy the link on Instagram and Threads, you could do that. It's also on Reddit if you want to do that. Okay. So I might do another podcast episode. We'll see. Maybe Thursday. I have time Thursday. If not, I'll do it this weekend. We'll see. Okay, this is Pico Sanchez, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me. Everyone have a great day. It's a little cool today. It was raining a lot yesterday. We need the rain. So enjoy the rest of the day. Here's bye-bye for me. And here's a little traveling music from Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.